Hello there. So our border force is now effectively supporting people traffickers by working with the French Navy and French maritime police to provide a taxi service for the boat people. This is a national disgrace. Now, if you haven't already done so, please do subscribe and then like and comment below. Our border force is blatantly colluding with the French Navy and Maritime Police to meet in the middle of the English Channel to hand over traffickers' boats, all caught on their radio transmissions. Border Force officers and French warship captains are working together to provide a taxi service for the doctors and nurses trying to get into Britain. And Rishi Sunak had the cheek today to tell GB News that dealing with this is his #1 priority. There comes a point when enough is enough, and we reached that point some time ago. But it is now perfectly clear that the British people have been betrayed by the Border Force and this useless government that supposedly represents us. You only have to trawl through social media and news comment pages to see that the people are getting to the end of their tether. And all the pro-open borders mob can do is engage in their usual name-calling as they help fill the dinghies, while the rest of us know it is not racist to want to control your borders. We've already seen one extremist and unbalanced response to all of this, and we do not want to see any more of it. But how long before some misguided people start to think that if the government refuses to do something, then maybe they should, and that should worry all of us? And it's not helped by the UK National Crime Agency admitting today that there are more Albanians in this country illegally than the 50,000 who are lawfully here and contributing to our society. Especially as the scale of the problem and the public reaction to it is causing concern amongst those who have benefited from legal migration and true asylum. And the public can only get more upset when they read on the BBC News website that nurses living in 2 hotels are to be kicked out to make way for asylum seekers. And get this, these are rooms hired by York Hospital for use by foreign nurses to use while they sit their exams to allow them to work in the UK. But the Home Office has now booked them for use for over the next couple of years, and the hospital is struggling to find replacement accommodation for them. And with talk of the hotels being taken for a couple of years, it doesn't sound to me like anyone will be gripping this problem anytime soon. Funny how the do-gooders who facilitate the open borders have just put the kibosh on another do-gooder programme to employ foreign nurses into our diverse NHS, isn't it? The law of unintended consequences. And to have the whole trafficking chain sewn up from French beach to UK hotel room by French and UK government agencies playing pass the parcel over radio is obscene. Now, I still live in hope that someone in the world of politics will rise to the challenge and end this madness. But I fear what could be coming, and that was predicted many years ago. And who's paying for it all? Well, someone is paying thousands to shadowy people smugglers for each and every one of them coming across. But you and I will be picking up the tab for the rest. No wonder we hear that our taxes are about to rocket. And it's becoming clear that local authorities will be given the headroom to raise council taxes by 4.99% next year without having to hold a local referendum first. And that will ease some of the pressure on councils that are reaching breaking point. For example, 2 Tory councils, Hampshire and Kent, have already warned Downing Street that they're about to go under. And in a search for more money, Thurrock Council poured something like 655 million quid into solar farms. The company then went belly up, and there is a big question as to whether the council will get its money back. and 138 million of it seems to have somehow gone walkabouts. Do we really think local councils and councillors are geared up for such high finance deals? And how many councils do you reckon will take full advantage of that potential to raise an extra 4.99%? Or should I say, how many do you think will take account of the strain on the taxpayer and not raise their precepts by 4.99%? Ah well, it's safeguarded a few more diversity officer posts, hasn't it? Now, a lot of people think that UK workers are lazy and have got even lazier after the pandemic, all demanding to work from home while under their duvets or in their armchairs. Now, if that's true, then we are only emulating our French cousins. A new study by the French Institute of Public Opinion found that more people in France than ever before are saying they can't be bothered to work after a hugely generous furlough scheme and working from home. And just like everywhere else, France now has problems with labour shortages in hospitality, teaching and even nursing. And that's nothing to do with Brexit. Because the French are now told they have some sort of right to idleness, a concept that seems to have come from a Green Party French National Assembly member, Sandrine Rousseau. And she's the one that said barbecues are used by men to prove their virility, and that meat-eating men emit 41% more carbon than women. Now, inactivity is loved by the Greens because it essentially means far less energy is consumed because people don't work so much. Inactivity saves the planet. I wish our eco-loons in the UK would take that to heart by gluing themselves in their beds and working from home. Especially as, if eco-loons' claims are correct about man causing all the climate change. Because the experts think that the Earth's population number is levelling off and will then start falling. That's right. Although we will reach 8 billion living people on the planet sometime today, the increase in population numbers has been decreasing and levelling off for years. In fact, 61 countries are going to see population decreases between now and 2050. All because global fertility rates are falling. And by the end of the century, the planet's population will have peaked at over 10 billion, and then it will start decreasing. Man-made carbon emissions will start falling as a result. And the biggest driver to keeping the population high will be progress that keeps people alive for longer. And part of achieving that progress in the first place was, of course, the human race using coal, oil and gas. Without that, we'd still be scratching about in candlelit caves. And something tells me that is exactly where the eco-loons want to take us back to. And finally, when subscribing, please don't forget to press that little bell and also select the all option, or you won't get any notifications when I publish a new video. And thank you all so much for taking the time to watch the show.